British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson is in Washington today. He's urging the Trump administration not to pull out of the nuclear deal with Iran. Tensions with Iran are not Britain's only foreign problem, though. Recently, British members of parliament were told by a former government official that the country's illegal immigrant population has surged past 1 million on the island. That's more than double the total just 12 years ago. Nigel Farage is a former leader of the UK Independence Party, UKIP, which promoted Britain's departure from the EU and sovereignty. He joins us tonight. Nigel, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
You're one person whose foreign policy instincts I trust. So let me just ask you point blank. I understand why the president doesn't like the Iran deal, bad deal, negotiated by bad negotiators. But if we do pull out, does it increase, do you think, the chances that the United States winds up in armed conflict with Iran?
No, I don't think it does. I mean, look, Boris Johnson is there in D.C. He's not just representing the United Kingdom, he's representing the European Union. The Iran nuclear deal was a globalist's deal. In fact, a form of appeasement, if you like. Now, you know, if you believe what Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel is telling us, the Iranians are breaking the deal anyway. Better, frankly, to be straight about this, to cut the deal. I think Trump's doing the right thing on this. I do not believe that Boris Johnson will change his mind. And does that make conflict inevitable? No, of course it doesn't.
Good. Well, that's reassuring. So does 1 million illegal immigrants in the UK make some kind of civil conflict inevitable there? It's a lot of people for a small place.
Well, I tell you what it does do. It makes a conflict between voters and politicians very inevitable. Look, the figure's not 1 million. The figure is at least 2 million. The 1 million figure that's being talked about are those that have been here for more than 10 years. And we're back to Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is proposing that we have an amnesty for at least 700,000 of them. Now, if we do that, we send out a signal to the whole world that Britain is a soft touch. Get a visa, come here, overstay your visa, and nobody will do anything about it. And all this does, it adds to the size of the illegal economy. So many people here illegally don't pay tax. So many here illegally, because of their status, get dragged into criminality or, you know, or other bad things in society. And, you know, it's all well and good for Boris and people like that to say, oh, well, we mustn't talk tough on immigration. It'll make us look nasty. Let me tell you, recent poll out last week, 71% of British people want the government to get rid of people here illegally. There's a massive gap here between Westminster and the real country.
So I read the other day, and I don't know if this can be true or is true, but that that Great Britain has taken in more immigrants in the last 40 years than came to England between 1960 and 1066, the Norman invasion. That the population is completely, that's true? Those are completely different place.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, there's a slight exception post-1945, quite a lot of Polish people and people displaced from Europe. But with that exception, yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, we were taking in a 5-year period, more people than had come in the previous 1,000 years. And that is the extent to which immigration, both legal and illegal, has been completely out of control. Tony Blair started all of this. He wanted to fundamentally change the shape of our country. He succeeded, and sadly, conservatism in this country has not had the courage to stand up and say, this is wrong. And anybody here that talks about immigration, I mean, look, you know, I did for years, you know, one of the main reasons we voted Brexit was to get back control of our borders, and yet, for standing up and fighting for that, I've been demonised, and most people are scared of being put in that position. And have to say, in many ways, you know, you're very lucky in America. You've got a president who doesn't care what the liberal media says and stands up and fights for the right things.
Yeah, because no one ever asked for this. This isn't democracy. I agree. Nigel, thank you. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
We will make America great again.